Hello friends. So today we are going to discuss a few of the interview questions. The wording could be different, but let's understand the questions. The questions like does finally block will be executed after return statement, or can we write void method with return statement in it, or is it possible to skip execution of finally block? To start with, let's understand few of the facts about the return statement. Okay, so the return statement. A return statement returns control to the invoker of a method or a constructor. Okay, a return statement is contained in the constructor. So we can have return statement in constructor. We can have return statement in method or in lambda expression, whose body includes the return statement. It is a compile time error if a return statement is contained in an instance initializer or a static initializer. So if you are writing a return statement in instance initializer or a static initializer, then it will throw a compile time error. So basically you cannot have return statement in that. A return statement with no expression must be contained in one of the following, or a compile time error occurs. So if you are writing a return statement without any expression, that means without returning any value as part of a return statement, then that those kind of return statement should be written in a method that is declared using the keyword void, not to return a value. So the second question which we were going to discuss, that whether we can write a return statement in void method. Yes, we can write a return statement in void method, because but we need to write a return statement without any expression, so that means it is not returning any value. So then what is the function of that return statement? What that return statement is doing basically in that method? The return statement sometimes return to stop the execution or to return the control from that point. Like if you are writing a return statement, that will be a last statement executed in that method or block. That so the control will be given back to the object, and then the next execution, if object is calling another method after that method, then that the execution for that method will be executed. So basically it's similar, like if you cannot write another statement after the return statement, because that will be the last statement of your method. Okay, a return statement with an expression must be contained in one of the following, or a compile time error occurs. So we have seen that return statement without expression, now return statement with expression. So a method that is declared to return a value. Okay, so a method that is declared to return a value, in that only a return statement and the expression should be written. A lambda expression, the expression must denote a variable or a value, or a compile time error occurs. Okay, so the expression must denote a variable, so it should have some variable to return, or a value, direct value you can also return, like 0 1 or any string if the return type is string of that method. Otherwise the compile time error will occur. Okay, so let's understand return statement with try catch finally block. Okay, so when the return statement from try block is executed, the value to be returned is stored. Okay, so it's not like if your return statement from try block is executed, it will directly give back the control. No, for try catch block it is little different. When the finally block completes, then the value is returned. Okay, so if we have try catch and finally block, and if you have written the return statement in try block, then when the execution of return try block is completed, the value which is returned by that try block after the return statement will be stored, and it will be returned to the calling method or to calling object after the finally block. Like when the finally block execution gets completed, then only the value will be returned. So that's how the try catch finally block will be executed. Okay, if both try block and a finally block has a return statement, then finally block return supersedes the try block return. Okay, so if we have a condition like you both try block and finally block both are having the return statement, then the return statement from finally block will get precedence over the try block. Okay, so the final value returned will be from the finally block. If you need to understand more about the try catch finally control flow, you can refer the official documentation from the docs.oracle Java uh, site. Okay, so I have written one program with the control flow. And let's understand how the try catch finally block will return the values here. So it's simple program actually, which has one function which is returning an integer value. Then I have two variables int j and 0 initialized in the function itself. In the try catch block, what I'm doing, I'm just returning I plus j. In the catch block, I'm returning I minus j, and in the finally block, I'm returning 0. So that's the function basically doing. So let's run the code, and then I'll explain you what is happening here. So if you run the code now, what is happening? It will come to try block, and it will execute the sysout within try block. It has returned the value, but not actually written and stored in the JVM itself. Then finally, there is no exception, so the catch block won't be executed. And then finally, the final block will be executed. Okay. Now, as the final block is executed, but it also has a return statement. So the return statement from finally block getting a precedence over the return statement from the try block, and that's why the return value from the finally will be returned to the object. Okay, so that's how it will work. But if you observe here, as we have written like a return statement in try catch, and finally it started giving some warning. What it says, finally block does not complete normally, because because it is not completing normally, because it is not advised to have return statement in both, right? Because if you are already returning a value from try block, then there is no point to return the value in finally block. Okay, so at least normally the return statement return after the try catch finally. Okay, that because then it will give the exact value what need to be returned by the function. Okay, so now if I comment it out and then if I run it, if you observe that warning has gone up, because now the finally block will complete execution uh, in a normal way. It is not completing in execution abruptly. Okay, and if you execute the program now, then it will print within try block within finally block. Okay, that's how it will work. If I have to go in catch block, I can do one thing. Let me throw an exception, throw new. Okay, so it will definitely going to give me some error, because our execution is ended there itself. Let me show you. Exception message. Okay, so I'll write down exception message. Okay, so now it will start giving error, because this code is unreachable, because you are already returning control from this try block, so this code will not be reached. So to do what we need to do here, uh, just let me comment it out this return statement, and it will stop giving the error. Okay, so now it is not giving the error. So now this execution will come in a catch block. So if I run the code now, it will go in within try block, within catch block, within finally block. Okay, so it has executed everything, but the value returned, it will be after the finally block. If you observe, we got the I minus j from the catch block, which is 2 minus 3 is minus 1. It will be executed after the finally block executed. So that's how it will be executing. Okay, so let me remove this. Okay, so and one of the question was, can we write a void method with return statement? So we already discussed on the earlier slide that we do can write, but let me write one method and let's see what happens when we write. So what I'm doing, I'm just writing a public method with void return type. Let's say print message. Okay, and in that I'm just writing out one sysout. We'll say void method with return statement. Okay, so that's how. And now, as we discussed, we need to write down a return statement without any expression. Then it will not give any error. If I write down return statement like this, it will start giving with expression. It will start giving the error that change the method return type to integer, because we are returning a integer value. So let me change it to return again. So that's how you can write a void method with return statement without any expression. So that's also can be done. Then another is, can we write a static block or initializer, instance initializer block with return statement? So let's see whether we can write. Okay. So let me create a, and I'll call it, I will run the code after we write this. So let me write a constructor, default constructor basically, and which is also having sysout. Okay, and what sysout it is, let me show. Okay, let me write whether we can write a return statement in that. Okay, so you can write return statement without expression because constructor doesn't return any value. We know that we know the functionality of constructor. How constructor work? Constructor will not won't be having any return value, not even void as well, right? So that's why you can write a return statement in that, but it should be without any expression. So what I'll say, constructor with return statement. Let me copy this and I'll update it to constructor. Okay, constructor, constructor with return statement. Okay, constructor with return statement. How about static block? Can we write static block? So let me see. See, static block does not complete nor it says initializer does not complete normally because you cannot write a not even return statement not even without expression, you cannot write in static block, so it is not allowed and it will stop complaining. So basically static block doesn't allow return statement, not even without expression. How about instance initializer block? Can we write it? I believe it is not allowed. Let me see. Okay, see, it started giving the, so it's basically static block and instant initializer block both are used to initialize the fields. That's why it is not allowing. So that means you cannot write. So let me instance. Okay, one second. Instance initializer block doesn't allow return statement. So that's how it will be. So basically, if we have try catch and finally return statements in try catch and finally block, the finally block will get precedence over the try and catch both the return statement. Okay, suppose to show you about catch statement as well, let me do one thing. Let me uncomment this return statement from finally block and let's execute the code. Okay, so this time there will be more print statement. So the first one, static block doesn't allow return statement. It will be called as and when the object is created. After once the object is created, it will call instance initializer block doesn't allow return statement, which is fine. Then it will call the constructor with return statement. Okay. Then it will go to try block. Then it will throw exception, which will be catched here. Then it will go to catch block. It will print this within catch. It will return the -1 value, which will be stored again, and it will go to finally block. Then the finally block will be executed and it will return the 0 from finally block over the -1 value stored from the catch block. Okay, let me call the void method as well so that we will print this print message as well. Okay, so the void message, so it will print void method with return statement. So this return statement, after why we are writing this return statement, so to mention that this will be the last statement in the constructor, so you cannot write another sysout or another statement after the return statement. It will start giving you the error that unreachable code, because this the control will be returned here itself, so the line number 15 won't be executed. That's why it is giving an error that unreachable code. Okay, so that's very easy. So one more tricky questions, uh, whether we can skip the execution of finally block. So what are the conditions in which the finally block execution will be skipped? Okay, so programmatically we can skip. There is a way, although we always say that finally block will be always executed if there is exception, if there is no exception. But there is a way in Java to skip the execution of the finally block. So basically how to do it, let's suppose there is something called system.exit. So you can directly uh, basically terminating all the execution here. So you can write something like this, system.exit exit status, and let's say I have mentioned it as 0 or a j is 0 itself. Then what will happen here, it will completely stop the execution of the code. So let's understand, let me run the code and let's see whether it is go to finally block or not. Okay, so it has ran. If you observe it, obviously it has run the static block first, then instant initializer block, then constructor with return statement. That this code executed before it comes to finally block. Then the flow came in to try block, and once it got the system.exit statement, it ended up the execution. So this is the way you can write down system.exit if in case if you want to skip the execution of finally block. But of course sometimes when someone's supposed to write this system.exit, let's suppose there is a condition, let's suppose I have a flag, I will check, let's suppose I have a condition that I equals to j, then end the execution. Okay, so in this case I don't want to execute the finally block. So that is one of the sample condition I'm giving here. um, and then as this condition satisfies, the control will be returned to JVM, and the JVM will stop the execution because it got system.exit. So this is a programmatic way. Finally block execution will be avoided when let's suppose there is a power failure when the execution is happening, or let's suppose the application crash itself, then the finally block execution will be stop. So there are like there is a way, and so someone will ask you in interview question, can we skip the execution of finally block? So, the answer to the question will be yes, we can skip the execution of the finally block by writing the statement system dot exit. So that's it for third question as well. So that's it for now. Thank you guys. I'll come up with new tricky questions which might be asked in interview. Thanks. Bye.